Hey everybody, Brian here. In this video I want to show you this this is a car that's quite rare I think in Ireland. Kia Proceed. I have to say I was always a big fan of the previous Proceed that was available, but that was a 3-door car and obviously that doesn't suit absolutely everyone, but I always thought it was a really kind of sporty car. This version I think is nicer because it's actually practical and I think it's a bit more unisex as well. Or I think it's suitable for men and women. Not that the other one wasn't, but just I think this one, because it's an estate, maybe because I'm a man, I just feel that it might have that more of an aspect than it had on the previous version. But I really like the design features on it. It's very, very unique looking. In this video, what I'm going to do is show you around some of the really cool features on the outside of the car, and we'll go for a drive in the car and we'll have a look on the inside as well. But I suppose from a glance, if someone's looking for a really stylish automatic car that's something that you don't see every day, then this is very, very different. But I suppose unlike the previous model, I think this is much more pragmatic because it's got 4 doors. It's very cool looking and it's got a big boot as well. And this one's a really nice low mileage example with 11,000 kilometers and 1 owner from new. Anyway, if there's information you want on this car, 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. Call, text, WhatsApp if you want information on the car. And I'll be happy to go through financing or the car or trading in your old car or scrapping a car, whatever it is. Or if you're somebody that's watching on YouTube and you want to know something about the car that I've missed, let me know in the comment section and I'll do my best to try and answer that question. So like we were saying, I'm going to start looking at the features on the outside of the car that I like, and then we'll go for a drive in the car and we'll talk about the interior as well. One thing about the outside of these cars, and people are going to think I'm talking absolute rubbish here and shut up you used car salesman, but I think there's something Porsche about these. There's just a few design cues that I've seen on kind of higher spec Kias over the last while, including this one, and it just reminds me of what I've seen on Porsches. I know they're probably a million miles away, but I suppose what I'm trying to say to you is the car is designed with style in mind. It's these kind of, if you look at some of the modern Porsches, you see these kind of 4 daytime running lights on the front. And the rear profile of the car, it just reminds me of the Panamera. I know people are probably going, oh my god, shut up. But anyway, I can't be the only person out there that's seen this kind of resemblance. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's a very stylish looking vehicle. I like small design cues like this light bar. So these are all LED lights, so things like the indicator on the front of the car and also on the rear of the car, they're all LED. You have those nice LED daytime running lights, the full lights and the dip lights are LED. And the light bar across the back goes from side to side, so when you're driving behind the car at night time, it makes it look really, really stylish and upmarket and very, very distinctive. The car in every kind of facet, so front and side and rear, it's very low to the ground. So if you look along here, there's this big aggressive splitter along the front, nice and tidy, but it just makes the car look more sporty and lower to the ground. Actually, do you know what, the more I look at them headlights, are they actually xenon or are they LED? So either one or the other anyway, but they're quite good and they look really cool. Down the side of the car then, with the idea of keeping things low, it has this little side profile with brushed aluminium and piano black, and again when you're looking at the car from the side, it just looks lower to the ground, and the consequence of that then is it's more sporty looking than a normal version. The rear is the same as well. There's a splitter down here again to make the car look lower to the ground. Okay, I'm not a big fan of fake exhausts, but to be fair, it does make the car look really symmetrical on the back, and even small design cues like the way this black kind of interrupts all the white, because sometimes too much color coding is actually too much, so these little things kind of break it up. And even things like the way the badge is across the back, it just looks really, really nice. That C-pillar on the car is so sleek looking, and then you have this piano black finish along the spoiler as well. There's chrome all the way around the windows with dark tint along the back, and again another small design cue along here with some brushed aluminium coming off this window surround. If you're somebody that liked the previous Proceed but the boot was too small, or, and I'm going to be shot for this, but sometimes people used to think those Proceeds as a 3-door car, they were more of a female car, even though males and females drove them. I think this one then caters for that, where it can actually suit everyone. The boot is really, really long, and it's got some extra storage underneath there as well, with even another storage bin down through here as well. So essentially this has become a medium-sized estate car. And yes, because we live in Ireland, some people are definitely going to appreciate it actually still has a spare wheel. This car actually hasn't been cleaned yet, so it is going to get cleaned, but you can see the condition is nice, and that's how it was looked after. Into the rear of the car, or actually more so, just before I do that, the wheels are actually a 17-inch wheel, right? One thing I've noticed, they'll actually look, I thought they were 18s, I genuinely thought they were 18s. They're a nice diamond cut finish, so they're, you know, shiny and reflective and all that kind of stuff as well. They look really nice, they very much suit the shape of the car, but they actually look bigger than 17s. The good news at 17s is tyres aren't expensive, but they actually look bigger. They fill the arches really well, and I suppose that's because the car is low to the ground all the way around. Really, really sporty looking. Because the mileage low, this car has had a pretty easy life. There is child locks for the electric windows and also for the doors. There is 3 head restraints. There is a nice GT line stitching setup and different materials used on the seat, which again are quite nice. There's an armrest in through the center, and again overall, because this is more of a tourer car now, it is much bigger than the previous 3-door version. There's ventilation over here in through the center, and in terms of size, so if I was to sit behind myself at 6 foot, And it's always something on a car like this where it has this kind of roof profile that's sort of low. Headroom's actually good, legroom's good too. And then obviously there's Isofix on both sides for child seats as well. The central part of the seat along here has leather. I've seen this in Kias before. This is like more of a velour sort of thing. This is leather, and then it has this kind of upmarket look at diamond sort of shaped material on the seats. This is piano black, this is brushed aluminium. So there's nice variety of materials used. The same up front where your controls are for electrics, for windows and mirrors. Again, because it's GT line, it actually has that lovely material on the seats. GT line is embroidered into the seats, which is very, very cool. There is high adjustable seat, lumbar support for lower back, and a rake reach steering wheel that goes up and down and in and out, and then a big screen, which is what they call floating, so where it's sort of in your eye line when you're driving, you'll see that. And it's also got a reverse camera. One other important thing that people sometimes forget is on the passenger seat. So because this is a higher specification, it gets lumbar support for lower back, and it also gets height adjuster for the passenger seat, which is actually fairly rare in cars. Things like the heating controls, they're really straightforward. I'm such a fan of simple controls. On, off, warm, cold, where do I want the air to blow? Down through here then you can see QI, which means you have a wireless charging pad in there, which allows you to charge your phone wirelessly where you just place it on the pad. Now that depends if your phone has QI technology. Hidden nicely through here, this is all piano black, nice finish. There's 12 volt, there is a USB, there is another USB. And then this gearbox area has this lovely kind of brushed aluminium sort of finish. And pretty straightforward, automatic gearbox. And then you do have, if you want to go across, a manual function if you want to manipulate the gears, but most people are just going to leave it sitting in D. Down through there then you can also select modes, sport or normal. Basically sport is going to govern things like the cruise control and throttle response and air conditioning. I'm not sure if it's standard. I haven't seen Seeds with an automatic park brake, but this one has an automatic park brake. So rather than yanking up your handbrake, you just lift the button, but it automatically releases when you drive away. Drinks holders in through there, again, nice little cover, like everything super spotless because it's such low mileage. Big, deep storage armrest, and that armrest is movable. Anyway, let's go for a drive in the car. So it's absolutely horrible weather. So trip computer is pretty easy to use over through here, nice and clear, and it looks pretty nice. And the dashboard with the floating dash, I'd like to send you some very, very simple controls. That's pretty intuitive and pretty straightforward. Kia makes some nice dashboards, nice big bright clocks, and like we're saying, just the floating dash sits nicely in that area. As we were saying, I can manually select gears from the gearbox here if I want, so by going up and down. Most people probably won't bother, but it does have the ability to do it there. And this is a 1.4 turbocharged engine, which is 138 horsepower with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, so it changes gears really, really quickly. Driving the car on the back road, it sits really nice, but like, I mean, it's such nice condition anyway, you'd expect it. Everything feels really good. On the right hand side, cruise control, trip information, all that stuff is displayed over on this side here, and then on the left hand side, that's all the Bluetooth stuff over through there. Here is a load of sheep. Anyway, there's also a lane keep assist function, so you see up in the top right hand corner, it warns you if you drift out of your lane. And the floating dash then is pretty easy to use. Buttons which allow you to go into navigation or radio. Reverse camera obviously comes on automatically when you go for reverse. The main thing though is it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So it has Maps itself, but it also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to support things like Google Maps and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. And I like the way when you use things like the wipers, it tells you what's on the screen, what setting you're in, and things like the headlights, they're also fully automatic as well. Actually, no, the key's really funky on these as well. So normally you have these kind of lock and unlock. It's on the side. Okay, like who cares? It's not a big thing, but it's just kind of quirky, that's all. Anyway, that is a really nice car. It's a car that's got loads of space. It's got a warranty until 2027. It's a dual clutch transmission, so it's a really nice gearbox. It's a 1.4 turbocharged engine, so there's good power in it. And it's cool, and it's something different, and it's a nice spec, and it's just not a boring bloody car that's everywhere. So anyway, if you want more information on the car, 086 843 1945, Brian is my name, call, text, WhatsApp, and we'll go through trading in a car or information about this car or warranty or after sales or whatever it is you want to know. If I've missed something, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to address whatever it is that I've missed. And thanks a million for watching. Hopefully the car is of interest.